Our first guest tonight obtained a 2019 letter last month showing that Congressman Schiff sent a letter to then Director of National Intelligence Dan Coats. It revealed how Schiff secretly hid dozens of transcripts in the Spygate scandal. Joining us tonight is John Solomon, award-winning investigative journalist, Fox Business contributor, editor-in-chief of Just the News. John, great to have you with us. Let's start with the pretext under which Schiff does not release this information to the committee, at least to the Republicans, and frankly, I'm far more interested in it being released to, and I would suspect you are, to the American public.
Sure. And remember, there was a vote of Congress. The House Intelligence Committee on Devin Nunes's watch voted to have these transcripts released back in September of 2018. And by the way, Adam Schiff voted for the release of those transcripts, but that's when he thought that the Russia conspiracy case was going to end up in indictments of Trump officials. When it turned out that the Russia collusion case fell apart as nothing more than Christopher Steele's fiction, then all of a sudden Adam Schiff moved into a different gear. First, he tells the White House, don't share any of these transcripts with President Trump or his lawyers. They might help them. And secondly, when the ODNI declassifies the transcripts, gives them back for public release, Adam Schiff has held them for months, not allowing the American people to see what he and the committee originally voted to make public.
It's extraordinary. It is straightforwardly almost the same as an indictment of Schiff himself, for him to hide this. And speaking of hiding this testimony, Christopher Wray persists in stonewalling at every instance, and now we are seeing, as a result of other investigations and litigation, why he probably didn't want a lot of that information out before the public. And then to see the public affairs spokesman for the FBI talking about what a grand fellow he is. Do you make anything of the fact that that support didn't originate with the Attorney General himself rather than a spokesman for the FBI?
Yes, listen, the fact that the White House and the Justice Department have been silent while the chorus of concern about Christopher Wray's leadership has grown much, much louder in the last week is probably a telling sign. But here's the most important thing to remember about Chris Wray. Right after Devin Nunes issued his report, hitting it on the money, that there were FISA abuses at the FBI in the Russia case. It turns out there were FISA abuses in many cases that the IG has exposed that, but particularly in the Russia case, Chris Wray issued a statement challenging Devin Nunes, saying, you got your facts wrong. Now, 3 years later, it turns out Devin Nunes had his facts right and Christopher Wray's defense had his facts wrong. Today, this idea that he's been transparent doesn't add up to what members of Congress have seen. As the letter said, we wanted to hear this from you, Director Wray, and instead we had to hear it from all these side avenues 2 and 3 years later. The frustration among Republicans is growing much larger with Christopher Wray.
And I personally applaud Devin Nunes, because it was in the toughest of times that he stood up and spoke out. And right. The American people owe him a great debt. Don't you agree?
Yeah, listen, he stuck to the facts as opposed to the emotion and the politics that everyone else was using to attack the Trump administration before there was any evidence of wrongdoing. He stuck to the facts, and those facts have persisted. And I think history will show Devin Nunes's report was right and Adam Schiff's report is wrong. And I'm writing a story tonight that'll be out tomorrow. The biggest loser of declassification is Adam Schiff, because so many of his statements now are contradicted by the evidence we belatedly got in the American public.
And the president's comments have been supported by the evidence and by truth. What this president has had to put up with, what this nation has had to put up with, because of Nancy Pelosi, because of Schiff. I can barely say his name. I think he is so repugnant. Give us a sense, if you will, of what you've got coming on Just the News tomorrow. And can you give us just a tease of that?
I sure can. Absolutely. So I've gone through 36 statements that Adam Schiff made that are now been factually contradicted by the evidence that the FBI had. I'll start with just my favorite one. If you remember back 2 months into the Trump presidency, Adam Schiff read into the record the Steele dossier, big parts of it. The parts he read into the record in a congressional hearing are turned out to be now determined by the intelligence community to have been Russian disinformation or information passed from Russian intelligence service. So the very thing that Adam Schiff was accusing the president of, he did himself. He passed on Russian disinformation using the vehicle of Congress. My story is going to go through all of that tomorrow.
And I'm pleased to say that John has agreed to join us tomorrow evening to take up all of that reporting, which you can read on justthenews.com. John, great to have you with us, John Solomon.